Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy and today we're heading back to the Fallout universe for the last time. Now, we've made some Blamco mac and cheese from a leftover pre-war box, we've made the best dessert ever, the perfectly preserved pie, and we've ensured that we'll always be hydrated and ready to go with our trusty Nuka-Cola in hand. But now we need to figure out how to make good hearty food from ingredients that are available now, because you won't last long in the radiated apocalyptic ruins of the Commonwealth, the capital Wasteland, and definitely not the Mojave if you're not resourceful. And since we took down a molerat that was coming after dog meat this morning, let's turn that mutated monster into some rich and delicious manicotti, because dog meat is the bestest boy and we need to make sure all the other molerats know not to mess with him. So let's get cooking. To start, bring a large pot of water to boil and cook 14 manicotti pasta tubes until they're almost cooked. We want them to be a bit firm still since this is going to bake later and we don't want them to turn into mush. When they're ready, gently remove them from the water and place them to the side on a plate to wait. I put a little bit of oil on my plate just to keep them from sticking. Set these to the side and we'll come back to them in a little bit. While the pasta's going, we also need to cook up our molerat meat, which for our purposes is going to be some Italian sausage. Use 3 sausage links and we're going to remove them from their casings. Cook the sausage in a medium pan over medium heat until it's cooked through and crumble it up as much as you can. This meat is going to be part of the filling, so we need it to be small enough to easily fit inside those pasta tubes. When the sausage is cooked, set it to the side as well. If you notice that some of the sausage pieces are a little big, just grab a knife or some kitchen shears or something and chop the larger pieces up a bit. Now that the pasta and meat are ready, let's get to work on the filling. To the food processor, add a 1/4 cup of olive oil, a 1/4 cup of pine nuts, a 1/3 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese, 5 to 6 garlic cloves, and basil to taste. You can use fresh basil and you'll want about 2 ounces, which is 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried basil. But I also have basil in the marinara sauce, so I'm just adding some basil to taste here. Pulse this mixture up until it's relatively well broken down. You want it to look like this. Now we need 4 ounces of soft goat cheese and 3.5 cups or 28 ounces of ricotta cheese. Pulse all of this as well until everything is creamy and evenly combined. Next, move the filling mixture from the food processor into a large mixing bowl. Add a tablespoon of dried oregano and a bunch of parsley. If you're using fresh parsley, chop up about a 1/4 cup, which is about 4 teaspoons. Last, add the sausage we just made, and you may need to strain off excess fat if you have a lot of it sitting in the pan. Then stir everything together till it's evenly mixed, and this is the tasty, creamy filling for our pasta. Last, we need to get our sauce ready. In a large saucepan, melt 1 tablespoon of butter and 4 ounces or half a block of cream cheese. When the cream cheese is soft and starting to melt down, add 2 cups of marinara sauce and stir the cheese into the sauce until it's fully melted and incorporated in there. Add in 1 cup of either shredded Fontina or shredded Gouda cheese, whichever one you're able to locate at your local Super Duper Mart, as well as 1 cup of heavy cream. Stir these in as well until the cheese is fully melted and incorporated into the sauce. Then pour in the remaining 2 cups of marinara sauce, stir everything together, and simmer this for about 10 minutes to get the flavors mingling together nicely, and it'll also reduce just a little. Check for seasoning at this point and add salt and pepper to taste if you need to. After 10 minutes, pull this off the heat and we're ready to assemble our manicotti. But first, make sure to preheat the oven to 350 and grab a 9x13 baking dish. Spread about a cup or so of the sauce we need on the bottom of the baking dish before starting to fill up the manicotti. Okay, so now we're ready. So the challenge with manicotti is how to get the filling into a cooked pasta tube without destroying the pasta. You could try using a spatula or spoon and being very gentle, but that is definitely a challenge, and I've always had trouble keeping my manicotti pasta whole using that method. The best and easiest way I've found is using either a cake icing bag without a tip on it, or by grabbing a gallon-sized freezer bag and cutting one of the corners off slightly smaller than the pasta tube opening. Since I have an icing bag, we're going to use that. Fill the bag as much as you can with a spatula or a spoon and then squeeze the filling into each pasta tube very gently. If the tube is holding together well, you may be able to get the whole thing filled from one side, but if it's starting to tear at all, just fill half from one side and half from the other, and everything should work out just fine. I mean, either way, this is still probably going to be a messy affair, so we're just going to do our best. Place each filled tube into the baking dish and keep on trucking until all 14 of the manicotti are filled. Now spread all the rest of the sauce we made over all the manicotti, making sure to cover all of the pasta. Any pasta that's uncovered is going to get dried out and crunchy in the oven, so it's important to make sure that everything is fully covered with the sauce. And there's plenty of sauce, so you shouldn't have any problems there. And very last, sprinkle 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese evenly all over the top, because it's not like we don't have enough cheese in this dish already. Bake this uncovered for 30 to 45 minutes until the cheese is nice and melty on top and starting to turn golden brown. Remove it from the oven and we're ready to eat. Yeah, wow, this is really good. Who knew an irradiated mutated molerat could make such a tasty dinner? The sauce, it tastes almost like a vodka sauce, but there's no vodka in it. It's nice and tangy, and using a marinara sauce as the base instead of a general spaghetti type sauce, it gives it a little sweetness that complements the ungodly amount of cheese in this thing nicely. But it does have a lot of sauce, so I think when I make this again, and I'm definitely making this again because it's delicious, I'm gonna use maybe 3 cups of marinara sauce instead of 4. That should make a perfect balance of sauce to pasta to cheese. Other than that, I wouldn't change a thing about this mouth-watering, scrumptious, delectable, take your pick. It's just really good. So I can't believe how great everything I've made from the Fallout cookbook has been. They aren't quick novelty recipes simply to fill out a gamer's coffee table ornament. Every recipe I've made from this book has been delicious and really well put together. I might just work my way through the whole thing just for my own amusement, because there are many, many more really great looking recipes in there. And before you ask, no, I am not sponsored by anyone or anything, so I'm not trying to sell you something. I just love Fallout, and I love cooking. And this book looked fun, and it turns out it really has been fun. So if you like Fallout and you like cooking, you should totally give a shot to making stuff from the games or from the show. There's plenty of variations all over the place, and replicating the food from that world it's challenging and inventive and creative, and you end up with yummy food. I mean, what could be better than ended up with yummy food? Thank you so much for watching my little mini Fallout series. I hope you've enjoyed these recipes as much as I have. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying my videos. Maybe leave me a comment below. Help me grow my channel. Stay tuned every Sunday for comforting and cozy home cook recipes, and don't miss out on Wednesdays, especially next week because we're leaving the Fallout world and heading to Scotland. We're gonna make recipes from Outlander. I just love those books and the TV series. I cannot wait to make some of the food from them. Except we're not making haggis. Sorry, I'm not breaking out a sheep's stomach. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I'll see you back here next Wednesday for our very first Outlander themed recipe. Bye!